Welcome to a special bonus edition of the IUPUI Coaches Show here on the ISC Sports Network. No April Fools. We have a new basketball coach at IUPUI. What literally 3 months from today will be known as IU Indianapolis. It is Paul Corsaro, who is frankly no stranger to me. I've been covering him for the last 20 years at this point, dating back to his days of playing football at Roncalli High School. But after 4 tremendously successful years at our shared alma mater, the University of Indianapolis, he will now be the man in charge of the IUPUI Jaguar program. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
And we'll kind of get into your background coming up here in a matter of moments. But just overall, I again, because I know you and I have talked several times in this process behind the scenes, why was this job so attractive and so appealing to you?
It's a no-brainer. I think that this program, this university, this athletic department is just oozing with potential and just ready for a big breakthrough. You know, a Division I program in the city of Indianapolis, new leadership with our chancellor and athletic director who have a lot of energy and want us to be successful. And I think the rebranding to IU Indianapolis opens a lot of doors as well. There's no reason that we can't be a major player in college basketball, and I'm just thoroughly excited for this challenge and for the opportunity.
So literally this became official as of all of 7 days ago. So what have the last 7 days been like in your life?
Oh, it's been pretty crazy. You know, nice thing is I didn't have to move. You know, typically when you take another job, especially in coaching, you're thinking about, okay, moving your family. I was able to start the next day. I just drove a different direction. You know, so that was actually kind of nice. But you know, it's been great. The administration here is awesome. That they're so helpful every single day. So that's made my transition really smooth. All the other coaches are really friendly, and everyone's just really eager to help. It's been easy to tell in my first 7 days what I saw in the interview process that everyone here is on board and really works well together, and that IU Indianapolis Athletics is on the verge of something big.
For you personally, what will that adjustment be like? Again, you've been part of a great school at UIndy, a very good and traditionally powerhouse league in basketball at the Division II level in the GLVC. But now stepping from the Horizon League that just had a team beat Kentucky in the first round of the NCAA tournament and a conference that clearly is on the uptick. What's that adjustment going to be like for you as a basketball coach?
You know, there is going to be some adjustments, but I look at always parallels. You know, it's all about how you build it. And I've built a successful program in the city already, and I think my time at Purdue-Fort Wayne is going to really prepare me for this as well. Purdue-Fort Wayne's obviously in the Horizon League now. When I was there, they were in the Summit League. But we played the Horizon League and the MAC predominantly in the non-conference, so very familiar with the league already. But I look at a team like Oakland and I think, why not us? That's the expectation, you know. And you know, we have very, very talented high school basketball here in Indianapolis in the state, and we want to build from our backyard. And then also, you know, I think that there's a lot of good transfers that have left our state that hopefully we can lure back to the state of Indiana and build a special program here.
Well, let's face it, even from when you took the job at UIndy 4 years ago, how you build a program now 4 years later is completely different in terms of what you can do. And again, kind of the ultimate example in our league last year was Green Bay. They won 3 games 2 years ago. They led the Horizon League for a good chunk of this past year with Sonny Wicks because you can flip a roster quickly. So let's kind of talk big picture, kind of 30,000-foot view, and then we'll get into some of the specifics and some of the guys that already we can talk about at this point. They're going to join your program. But knowing you're probably going to have 13 different players than you had a season ago, how do you go about constructing a roster as we're sitting here on April the 1st?
Well, you know, you have to have balance because you want to bring in the healthy mix of older guys that are ready to help you win right away, but also enough young guys that when those older guys leave that your culture is established and they can keep this thing moving. You know, you want to build a program, not a team, a program that's in a position for this team this year to have success, yes, but year by year be in position to have success. And that's what we were able to do at UIndy, and I thought we did a really nice job when I got that job there in terms of class balance. We were after our older guys right away, and then the 1-year guys, and we brought in a couple 2-year guys and a couple 3-year guys and a couple 4-year guys, and that healthy mix is really, really important, and that's what we're going to aim to do here.
All right, you have some familiar names going to be joining you from the south side to downtown. Tell us about the young men that are going to be Jaguars going forward.
Yeah, we're excited. We got four scholarship guys coming over from UIndy, and they actually signed their paperwork this afternoon. So we're excited about that. And we're going to start with our scoring wings, Jarvis Walker and Paul Zelinskas. Jarvis actually spent time at Purdue-Fort Wayne. He's already been in the Horizon League. Came down and played for me at UIndy, and man, he was awesome. He scored 20-plus in 10 of the last 12 games of the year. Finished the year averaging about 13.5 a game. Shoots 45% from 3. I mean, he's a walking bucket, and I think he'll be really, really good for Jaguar fans. And then Paul Zelinskas, he went down late in the year with an injury, and you know he's already on the mend and will be back for preseason to work out. And we're confident that he'll be here for a full season. But talk about a 6'5" wing that can do it all. He can score, he can defend, he can rebound, get assists. He was arguably probably going to be the Great Lakes Valley player of the year in our league before he went down because we were number 1 in the league, and his league numbers was like 15.6 points on 47% from three and 91% from the free throw line. Just talk about efficiency.
Right.
And that's the best way to describe Paul's efficiency. So I think we have 2 lethal scorers on the wing coming. We have a combo forward in Sean Craig, 6'7" kid that you talk about just Indiana fans like that love guys that are tough and blue collar. He's the first on the floor all the time. Like he fits my personality to a T in terms of just like grit and toughness, and it's infectious. So you need a guy like that that's going to do all the dirty work, and if you leave him open, he really sticks it from three. His freshman year, he led the GLVC in three-point percentage. So really excited about him, his versatility. And then our big fella, Julian Steinfeld, 7 foot from Germany. Julian's given us really good moments at UIndy over the last few years. Now, I think Julian's due for a breakout year. Here's why: is because first off, he was playing behind Kendrick Choa, who at Division II level is arguably the best center in the country in Division II. So Julian, and it wasn't really his fault, probably didn't play as much as he was even capable of playing because he was sharing minutes with Kendrick. Well, also, I think at the Horizon League level, he's going to get more guys his size and not having to size down, which I think he's going to be even better. If you look at his per rebound average, it was like top in the country in terms of rebounds per minutes played. And, we played IU this year against Kalel Ware. He plays 16 minutes, has 8 rebounds and 2 block shots. So I think coming up a level where size is going to be at a premium, and then also just getting his opportunity, I think he's going to have a breakout season.
Those are the kids from a scholarship perspective that are joining you. Who else can you talk about at this point?
Okay, yeah. Ron Rutland from Crispus Attucks High School was signed for us at University of Indianapolis. So we want to build from our backyard. And, Ron's the number 8 rated player in the state. He was a junior all-star. He's a candidate for Indiana All-Stars this year.
And you can literally not go to a high school closer than the IUPUI campus than Ron did at Crispus Attucks.
There is no doubt. There is no doubt. Just like Ron Colley to UIndy for me,
That's
Crispus
right.
Attucks is like
Right.
that at IUPUI. So we're going to get him. And I'm talking Ron is going to have a great career. Ron's an excellent shooter. Great passer, high IQ. We're going to play him at the point guard. He was more of a 2 in high school, but we're going to transition him to the point. When he puts on weight and gets in that college weight room, he's going to be a problem. I really believe that, and I'm excited to have him with us and come over. And then we just got a commitment and a signee from Tamaris Brown, a 6'5", 6'6", lefty wing that is versatile, can play the 2, 3, or 4. And he came to us from Rockhurst, the guy I coached against, 16 points, 6 rebounds a game, and is just a tough, hard-nosed player that, like I said, versatility and length is really important. I'm excited to add him too.
At what point in time do you kind of want to have, again, you get 13 scholarships. At what point in time do you want to have that roster full kind of heading into the summer?
Obviously as a competitive guy and, like to check boxes and move on to the next thing, you want it by the start of the summer, but I want the right pieces and the right roster, so we're not going to take anybody just to take them. We're going to chip away at this thing and try to get 1 to 2 commitments a week, and have the right team and put in place, and also have the program in a place to have longevity.
There used to be almost kind of a stigma about guys that coached the Division II level. It was tough to break through from D2 to D1. Josh Schertz is part of that group that has shown, hey, you can do it. But also now you see more players kind of making that jump. You're going to get players wherever you can get them, can find them. But can you almost kind of mold this first roster primarily at D2 guys and think be competitive immediately?
There's going to be a lot of them.
Yeah.
Because at that level, I know how good that talent is, and I think I kind of have an edge in terms of evaluating a kid from that level. And I think I know what translates. But I'm a big believer that you take those top-level D2 players. Look at Jack Golke this year at Oakland, a prime example. Everybody knows that one.
You know him as a Hillsdale Charger, yes.
I do, So, and we had a guy from UIndy when I was there, Tate Hall, that goes up and plays for Loyola and goes to the Final Four with them.
Correct.
So I think there's a lot of parallels that can lead to high-level success. So you will see a lot of that with our program and how we build our roster.
All right, hang loose for a couple minutes. We're going to take a quick timeout. First, this for our friends at Katz, Sapra & Miller. They're a CPA and advisory firm based right here in Indianapolis. KSM believes we all have a role to play in supporting communities where we work and live, and the firm is committed to playing their part. KSM is proud to support many mission-driven organizations such as Jaguar Athletics. It was dedicated to providing and enhancing life-changing opportunities for IUPUI student-athletes. Let's go Jags again. We are live at Back 9, and this is part of a full afternoon for Paul. There is a press conference at 4 that will follow our show, and then there is a meet and greet. So literally doors at Back 9 open at 4 o'clock. It's a beautiful day. It's not raining outside yet, and if it is raining, it doesn't matter. The bays are all covered and heated anyway. So come spend part of your Monday with us and meet the brand-new head coach of what will be IU Indianapolis 3 months from now. One more segment with Paul. Director of Athletics Luke Basso joins us after that. And we're back in a moment as you're watching the IUPUI Coaches Show here on the ISC Sports Network.
Listen up, all you golf lovers. Looking for a private course for yourself or your company? Problem solved. Indy's Eastside Hidden Gym and Pete Dye's first 18-hole design is Maple Creek Golf and Country Club. Visit maplecreekgc.com today.
At Indiana University, we're undaunted by challenge. We take the lead. We don't follow the crowd. Embracing the future with boldness and bravery. Unapologetically optimistic. Equipped with the knowledge and intention to change the world. 9 campuses, 1 purpose. Creating tomorrow, today. Indiana University. Bring on tomorrow.
Going the extra mile happens every day here at Perf Jones.
College is one of the biggest milestones you will undergo in your lifetime.
It's the excitement, I think, of knowing what you're producing is going to be on someone's wall with their diploma. It's pride, it's loyalty, it's passion. I get goosebumps just thinking about it.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
This is the place that's skill built. Here, highly skilled physicians never rest in their pursuit to heal, to comfort, to cure. With these hands, you'll receive nationally recognized heart care and Indiana's most leading-edge cancer care. With these hearts, with these guts, with these brains, you'll find the highest level of care in the state. This is the hope that's skill built, and it's around every corner of Indiana University Health.
We are back and live at Back 9 downtown Indianapolis. Again, this is the IUPUI Coaches Show with you here at 4 on the ISC Sports Network. Press conference with Paul at 4 o'clock, then the official meet and greet to say hello to the new head coach of the IUPUI Jaguars, and Paul Corsaro. Runs from 4:30 until 6. Doors open at Back 9 at 4. This portion of the program brought to us by Taylor's Bakery. Jaguar fans, thanks to our great sponsor, Taylor's Bakery. They support Jaguars athletics. Taylor's Bakery is Indy's oldest full-line bakery. It's been around since 1913. They try to bake happiness into every bite. They're a 6-time WeddingWire.com award winner, crowned Best Bakery in Indy in 2024 by Nextdoor. 2 great locations in the Broad Ripple area, 62nd and Allisonville Road, and in Fishers, 8395 East 116th Street. Taylor's Bakery, tailor-made for you since 1913. We can't show them on camera because we have to completely redo our setup, but you have a large chunk of family here to watch you today. Tell us about them.
Oh, yeah, I do. Very blessed. My wife, Brooke, is back there with our 10-week-old son, Greg. He's all dolled up in his press conference attire. And my mom and dad, Greg and Susie Corsaro, very happy to have them here. Can't get more support than my family gives me. I'm very lucky, and we'll have more showing up here throughout the day.
By the way, the combination Easter and press conference bow tie for your 10-week-old, spot on.
Yeah, I told
job well done on that.
Brooke did a great job in terms of being thrifty because I'm cheap, and I saw the bill and she was like, "Hey, it's going to serve its purpose back-to-back days, so we're good."
If she's happy with it, then believe me, it served its purpose. I have known you since you were literally a sophomore in high school. And again, you were known as a football player in high school, and frankly, a football player in your first collegiate stop at Youngstown State. I know I've asked you a variation of this question over the years before. Why basketball over football from a coaching perspective?
Well, when I had opportunities for both out of high school, and honestly, I was probably a better basketball player or should have played a different position in football in college. My mom's probably laughing back there because I was more like Tim Tebow. I couldn't really throw, but I wanted to play quarterback. And came from a football high school, so I kind of felt pressure to go play, college football. But went to Youngstown, and honestly, it was a good experience for me. But ultimately, from a stylistic standpoint of football, and then being a little homesick, and then also missing basketball, just wasn't the right fit, and left after a year, and come back to UND to play both. And I had a great experience at UND in both, but I had a really tight relationship with Stan Gerard, and that's ultimately what led me to coach. Is my head coach. He and I became very close, and then he offered me the opportunity to join his staff, and I just enjoyed it so much. So I owe all of this to him.
How do you see that football background kind of reflected into you as a basketball coach? What are some things you might do differently than, say, other basketball guys?
Oh, well, you would think we probably need a helmet and shoulder pads in some of our rebounding drills and our loose ball drills. So that probably starts there. And then, we really don't call fouls in practice very much. So we got to finish through contact. And, I'm big on toughness and, doing things, from a physicality standpoint. And our guys will learn real quick, too, the way we lift. We're going to lift 4 days a week, especially in the off season. And we're going to be bigger, stronger, tougher, more physical than everyone we play.
Trust me, as someone that got to see your teams not on a regular basis, but a semi-regular basis at UND, that's what jumped off the page at me, is that you had some dudes. You could tell the weight room is where your team spent a lot of time, and I expect that translates to the Division I level, correct?
Absolutely. And I'll be honest with you, they put in the work. When I got there, we were a young team, and that first year we weren't physically ready. And from that point forward, I remember we got beat on the O boards really badly in one of my games my first year. And I walked in the locker room and said, hey, if we're going to do anything, we're going to live in the weight room. And that's not happening anymore. And I think physicality in the weight room, it helps with a couple things. Obviously, on the rebounding battle, it helps finishing through contact, but it also helps in the turnover battle, forcing turnovers on other teams and then protecting the ball too. And I'm a big believer in ball control, even in basketball, a big football term, is a huge part of success, and turnovers and rebounding is a big part of that.
You got to have kind of a first-time experience on Saturday night. You and I are getting to hang out at the IHSAA basketball state finals, and you're wearing that Script Jaguar polo at a state finals event. What was that experience like for you?
That was cool. I got a lot of texts, and people were telling me I look good in my new shade of red. So maybe it fits me a little bit better, that shade. But
we're not judging or comparing here. It looks great in both, yes.
But, it was great. It's just awesome. People want IU Indianapolis to be good in basketball and to have success and to feel that love and support and the excitement behind, a new direction. It's humbling, and I'm really honored.
All right, now the next kind of public event you get to go to is something coaches at all levels go to. It's about to be Final Four time for you. Yep. You're going to be joining thousands of Purdue fans that are making their way out to the Valley of the Sun. What are those days like for you in terms of staff building, recruiting, swapping stories, trying to get games scheduled, et cetera? What are those next few days like for you?
A little bit of everything. I have a few events I have to be at and a few just kind of private meetings here or there. It's going to be a quick trip. Luke and I are actually going together. We're going to get out there Friday morning and fly back Sunday morning, so it's a quick 48 hours, and I'll be busy the whole time. But, yeah, you'll ask about, players that might be available with, fellow colleagues. Do have a few meetings on staffing that can't talk about that in depth, but, that will be a part of it, and always trying to get games. Our schedule's not done yet, but we are working on that.
All right, so finally, before we let you go, again, you've got other responsibilities coming up here in about 10 minutes or so. I've asked you what the last 7 days have been like. You just kind of spelled out what the next 7 days are going to be like. What do the next couple 3 months look like as you are rallying support for the team, as you're filling a roster, as you're filling a coaching staff and filling a schedule? What are some of the things that you're like, okay, these are the boxes I've got to check over these next few weeks?
Well, I think those are the main things. It's going to be it's roster, it's staff, it's schedule. But then there's a lot of other things too that we got to start getting in contact with the alumni, and getting them back involved, and then getting to know your student athletes from a personal level, because it's all about relationships. College athletics is so much about relationships with your current staff, your current roster, getting to know those student athletes. But also, you need support and you want people to be excited, but you can't just expect those people just to show up to games. So I'm going to do a lot with community outreach, getting out there and letting people know that we want their involvement and want them around our program, and then just getting with our administration and understanding what they need from me, in terms of as we wrap up this school year and going into the next school year.
I'm going to give you 2 websites for more information. One, get your tickets now, IUPUIJags.com/tickets. As simple as that. But secondly, you want to donate to men's basketball? Here's the way you do that. IUPUIJags.com/GiveNow, JAF. That stands for the Jaguars Athletics Fund. That covers 16 different sports, over 250 different student athletes, but obviously you can specify as to which sport that goes to. You want to donate to men's basketball? It's a great way to do it. IUPUIJags.com/GiveNow/JAF. My friend, I'm so happy for you. And
thank you.
Looking forward to getting to work with you on a much more regular basis.
Absolutely. Go Jags.
Again, that's the head coach of the IUPUI Jaguars, and Paul Corsaro. Luke Basso, Director of Athletics, will wrap up the show with us next as you're watching live from Back 9 Golf Entertainment in downtown Indianapolis, the IUPUI Coaches Show here on the ISC Sports Network.
Listen up, all you golf lovers. Looking for a private course for yourself or your company? Problem solved. Indy's Eastside Hidden Gym and Pete Dye's first 18-hole design is Maple Creek Golf and Country Club. Visit maplecreekgc.com today.
At Indiana University, we're undaunted by challenge. We take the lead. We don't follow the crowd. Embracing the future with boldness and bravery. Unapologetically optimistic. Equipped with the knowledge and intention to change the world. 9 campuses, 1 purpose. Creating tomorrow, today. Indiana University. Bring on tomorrow.
Going the extra mile happens every day here at Perf Jones.
College is one of the biggest milestones you will undergo in your lifetime.
It's the excitement, I think, of knowing what you're producing is going to be on someone's wall with their diploma. It's pride, it's loyalty, it's passion. I get goosebumps just thinking about it.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
This is the place that's skill built. Here, highly skilled physicians never rest in their pursuit to heal, to comfort, to cure. With these hands, you'll receive nationally recognized heart care and Indiana's most leading-edge cancer care. With these hearts, with these guts, with these brains, you'll find the highest level of care in the state. This is the hope that's skill built, and it's around every corner of Indiana University Health.
Welcome back for a final time on what will be, we think, is our final edition of the IUPUI Coaches Show for the year, because we thought the one was 4 weeks ago. You hire a new coach. We are happy to have another edition. Luke Basso, Director of Athletics, joins us now. First, this for our friends at 92C Partners, proud to support Jaguar Athletics. 92C Partners is a woman-owned, full-service commercial real estate firm serving clients throughout Indiana and beyond. In addition to brokerage services, 92C provides strategic planning, space design, construction management, and project management. If you have any real estate needs, please visit 92partners.com. Luke Basso joins us now. You've been a very busy guy for the last, ever since you set foot on campus, frankly, but especially the last 4 weeks. You were still very gracious in usually taking my phone call, knowing that dozens of candidates literally were calling you on a daily basis. What was the month of March like for you?
It was insane, Greg. I mean, honestly, I spent the better part of my adult life people not having my cell phone. So
and everybody does.
Yeah, everybody does now. I felt terrible for my wife because, as I've told people, people giving references to their basketball coaches don't care what time it is. They'll text you at 9:45,
absolutely,
10 p.m., say, hey, do you have 15 minutes? And I was constantly looking at the phone and talking to people. But, you know, we talked to a lot of people, and it kept circling back to where Paul was at the top of the list. So excited for him to be with us now.
It was an extensive process. I don't expect you to kind of give away trade secrets here. But if you don't mind, give people kind of the 30,000-foot view as to who all was involved and what you asked in terms of interviews on campus, et cetera.
Yeah, so had a great list of people involved. Obviously, John Leckrone and his search firm helped us lead it. A lot of people internally, but I have a philosophy. We only did 30-minute interviews at a time. And I would tell every coaching candidate, if you couldn't impress me in 30 minutes or I couldn't remember you in 30 minutes, you're not going to be able to recruit. So we made sure and kept that really short in that process. I mean, we did over 35 Zoom interviews, then did a second round of 10 or 12 candidates. Then we brought people on campus. But, our new chancellor, Chancellor Ramchan was involved. President Whitman was involved. Senior staff at IU Indianapolis and the IU network were involved. And, a lot of it was feel, right? Everybody's great during an interview. And you got to make sure that when you're talking to them. But, the thing that we were really impressed with in all of our candidates at the end, they had an edge. And I wanted somebody who is going to take this job and run with it. And every wall that says you can't win here, run through it. And we know from a history that we can do it. And, every time with Paul, obviously somebody told me along the way, you're not going to get a Division I basketball job interview if you can't coach. Right? So we did spend some time at X's and O's and having those conversations. But when it came down to it, are you going to be able to recruit? Are you going to put this chip on your shoulder and run through these walls? And, at the end of it, that I think it describes Paul in a lot of ways.
Paul checked every box.
Yes.
I guess I'm not trying to have you repeat yourself here, but what was it that kind of set him apart from the competition?
Well, I mean, he's the Southside version of me, right? He knows everybody. Every day we find out different people that are related to him. His success down at UND, I mean, to take that program where it was, obviously number 1 seed this year, those things. And we've talked about this. If you recruit Indiana, you're going to win at this job. And you look at the success he's had over the last 4 years at UND. I mean, 40. I think it's 40-some players from Indiana, 27 from Central Indiana.
Right.
Those type of things are really, really attractive to me because, with the history of this state and the talent we have here, there's no reason why we shouldn't win. And if we keep these kids home, I mean, there was I saw a stat online. Indiana had the second most players in the NCAA tournament. And there was one team from Indiana in the tournament, right? So, 12 guys from Purdue, and then you have 20-plus other guys who are from Indiana playing in the tournament. If we keep 10 of those guys home, we're going to be really successful.
All right, so this clearly has been your primary focus for the last month and frankly, kind of longer before that during the course of the season. Now what? Now that you and Paul are kind of in lockstep, now what does the next month look like for you as the director of athletics at IUPUI?
Yeah, I was telling somebody today, when I used to do these big economic development projects for the city and state, you get to the point where you sign it and there's like a relief, and then you got to build it, right? So, there was a couple hours of relief and excitement of that, and now we're going to build it, all right? So, Paul's been working really hard in the recruiting trail and the phone trail, and we're trying to give him everything from an athletic department that he needs to make this a seamless transition. Obviously recruiting in the summer, letting people know, he's now at IU Indianapolis, and then we get to the season, right? I don't mean to skip so far ahead, but I'm excited to get to basketball season. Now it's doing those things we have to do to be successful.
Now it's things like marketing. Now it's things like collectives.
Yes.
Now it's things like season tickets that will keep you busy going forward.
And you've hit it today, IUPUI.com/tickets. Come out and support Paul and the team in the jungle. Really excited to go back to the jungle for the majority of our games this year. As you know better than anybody, you can create a really great atmosphere in there, a home court advantage, and we're going to give people a lot of things to cheer about this year.
In other words, you got to be one of the first 1,200, because once we get past 1,200, the fire marshal has to get involved once we get to that point. So IUPUIJags.com/tickets is where you can get yours today. My friend, congratulations. I think you made the right hire.
Me too.
And, let's do some winning, shall we?
Yes, sir. We will.
Right. For Paul Corsaro, as well, the Director of Athletics, and Luke Basso, my name is Greg Rakestraw. Thanks to the good folks at Back Nine. Thanks to the ISC Sports Network guys behind the scenes in terms of Vince Morales and J.D. Arland. Again, the meet and greet starts well about now. So get here and join us. Doors are open at Back Nine at 4 o'clock. Thanks for being with us on ISC.
Listen up, all you golf lovers. Looking for a private course for yourself or your company? Problem solved. Indy's Eastside Hidden Gym and Pete Dye's first 18-hole design is Maple Creek Golf and Country Club. Visit